Islam and the Environment. 11. Climate Change and Responsibility. How Islamic Teachings Guide Us to Act. As the climate crisis intensifies, rising temperatures, disappearing forests, extreme weather, and melting glaciers, humanity finds itself grappling not only with environmental breakdown but also with a profound moral challenge. What values will guide us in confronting this threat? For Muslims, the answer lies deep within the timeless principles of Islam. A divine trust, not just airy source. Islam doesn't see the earth as an impersonal system to be manipulated, but as a sacred trust, amanah, entrusted to humankind through the role of khilafah, stewardship. It is He who has made you successors, stewards, upon the earth. Quran, Surah Fatir, 35-39. This stewardship is not optional. It's a moral responsibility with accountability. Climate change, therefore, is not just a political or scientific issue. It's a betrayal of this trust. Corruption on earth, a human responsibility. The Quran explicitly identifies human actions as the source of ecological imbalance. Corruption has appeared on land and sea because of what people's hands have earned, so that He may let them taste part of what they have done, so that they might return. Quran, Surah Ar-Rum, 30-41. This verse captures both the cause and the solution. Human excess and heedlessness cause environmental corruption, but hardship can awaken conscience and responsibility. Climate change is a direct consequence of overconsumption, industrial pollution, and exploitation of the earth without limits. Islam warned against these behaviors centuries ago, not through modern terminology, but through timeless moral principles. Wastefulness, a spiritual disease. The Quran condemns israf, extravagance, in no uncertain terms. Indeed, the wasteful are brothers of the devils, and ever has Satan been to his Lord ungrateful. Quran, Surah Al-Isra, 17-27. Using more than we need, polluting for the sake of comfort or profit, depleting resources without care for future generations, these are not just lifestyle issues. They are moral failings that contribute to global suffering. The Prophet Muhammad warned, "Do not waste water, even if you are at a flowing river." Ibn Majah. What would he say then about the oceans poisoned by plastic, or the atmosphere choked by fossil fuels? Balance. Mizan. The foundation of sustainability. One of the most profound ecological principles in the Quran is that of mizan, the perfect balance God placed in creation. And the heaven He raised and set up the balance, so do not transgress within the balance. Quran 55:7-8. This is both a description of nature's harmony and a command to preserve it. Climate change is nothing more than a result of violating this sacred balance, uprooting forests, burning unnatural amounts of carbon, and tampering with natural systems on a global scale. A prophetic legacy of action. The Prophet was not only a teacher of ethics, but a man of action. He implemented principles that curbed overuse and prevented long-term environmental degradation. He established rahmah zones, protected areas where cutting trees, overgrazing, or overhunting were prohibited. He encouraged tree planting, saying, "If the hour, day of judgment, comes while one of you is planting a tree, let him finish it." Musnad Ahmad. A simple yet profound act of hope and ecological consciousness, even in the face of the end of the world. Islamic civilization and the environment. Islamic societies historically took this responsibility seriously. Urban planning in early Muslim cities ensured clean air and water. Markets were regulated to prevent pollution. Scholars like al-Muqaddasi and al-Biruni documented natural ecosystems. The ethics of preservation were ingrained in law, architecture, and culture. We are not inventing an Islamic response to climate change. We are reviving a tradition that always viewed spirituality and sustainability as inseparable. So what can we do now? Islam empowers every believer with personal responsibility and hope. In the face of global challenges, live simply and consume mindfully. Reduce harm, whether through transport choices, energy use, or lifestyle habits. Support policies that honor the balance, mizan, protect biodiversity, and reduce emissions. Revive the prophetic ethics of mercy, moderation, and reverence for nature. Conclusion: faith as a force for change. We must stop seeing environmentalism as a Western invention or an NGO campaign. It is a deeply Quranic imperative. As Muslims, our response to climate change is not just to follow scientific consensus, but to return to our spiritual roots, to protect what God has entrusted to us, and to do so with humility, mercy, and purpose. We were not placed on earth to dominate it, but to serve as its gentle guardians.